Good evening, everyone. I'm Beena Jaykrishnan, money coach for children from Women on Wealth, and I'm back again today with a new topic. And today we're going to be discussing about how do parents raise financially aware children by telling them, in as many ways as you can, the possible way, as many ways as possible, the value of money. So today, let's look at, what is the value of money and how can you create that with the children? What is the value of money? The value of money, only that person who earns the money can actually tell you, right? That who has earned it can tell you the value of the money. Often parents are cribbing and complaining. We hear them saying that today's children, they don't know the value of money, right? And it is so easy to spend the money, but so difficult to earn it. And if you let me demonstrate it. Very recently in one of the kids and money session, I created this with the children, right? About I told them the story. So I'm going to share this with you. So there was a very big businessman and who had a very handsome but lazy young boy. His name was Sham. Okay, so Sham was a very happy-go-lucky fellow, a very rich father and all that stuff. So he was very spoiled and things. Now the father wanted to teach him the value of money. So he decided to do that. So he told his son, come here, you go earn, get me 5 rupees, you earn and get me 5 rupees and come and get it to me. So the boy said, okay, cool, dad, that I can go and do it very easily, right? Let me go and get it. So he goes in the house, he goes and he sees his mom. So his mom is busy giving instructions to the maid. He asks his mom, give me 5 rupees. The mom gave him 5 rupees and he took that coin and he went and gave it to his father. The father took the coin and put it in the well. Then the next day, again the same thing, he said, go get. So he repeated this. Sham went first to his grandmother, then his brother, then his uncle, whoever there in the family, he went and he would get 5 rupees. He would give it to his father. Father would take and put it in the well. Now the father realized that this is what is happening, right? This boy is getting the coins from the people in the house, his family. So he warned everyone and forbade them to give, Sham any more coins. So now the next day when Sham went in to ask, he realized that no one is ready to give him money, but he has taken the challenge of giving the 5 rupees to his father at the end of the day. So he goes to the nearby railway station and starts lifting luggage. And by the end of the day, he gets his 5 rupees and he comes and gives it to his father. Now, as usual, the father took that 5 rupee and was going to put it in the well. The moment he was doing that, Sham runs and catches him and says, no, why are you putting it in the well? This is my hard-earned money. So the father started laughing and said, now you get it? Like, this is, all these days, you were not, money was not yours. You had just taken it from your mom or your granny or things like that. It was not money which you had spent your time on, your energy on, right? Today, because you spent your time and energy on it and you earned it, it was like what we say, hard-earned money. You were very quick to stop me. The son realized, right? So this is what happened. So can you feel how it felt to me? The father says that when you would keep on getting your endless demands and wasting my money, like which I have earned and kept. So the boy gets his lesson, right? So here, if I'm to tell you, it's so easy, you have to just state the facts. Sometimes to make a point, you just have to state the fact to them. And the children usually do get it. You don't have to, and do not make it to sound about that person that, तुम नहीं सुनते हो. This is how we go about it, right? तुम नहीं सुनते हो, समझते नहीं हो. You make it about the person. तुम हमेशा ऐसे ही करते हो. Or, you always like this. You don't listen to me. So what happens is it becomes about that person rather than you did not do the job I gave you. Or, it's about that thing that is there. If you distinguish it from that, we can actually be receptive to the person, the child, because sometimes what happens is this can scar the child, right? Because like I said in the last session also, the children are learning from us whatever we say. And in fact, even the communication, non-verbal communications of us is also communicating to the children. And by non-verbal communication, I mean like sometimes whenever we say we have to this, we think we have to say something to them or speak to them, right? But I'm talking about the non-verbal communication is which, like, you may not be exactly or directly talking to them, but inside of your interaction, how you interact with people around you with money related matters. Or you are talking about, okay, मैंने ना उनको इतने पैसे दिए थे और उसको बोला था ये लेके आए और ना वो बंदा लेके नहीं आया, तो वो पैसे गए. The way you're talking or this, all these, you are not talking directly to the child, but the child is looking at what is your attitude about giving money to someone or, being cheated, how you react to it. All these are communicated. Why? I can give you a simple example. Like right now, in fact, I was just thinking about it today. In my childhood, I got two conflicting messages from my parents. My father was someone who was happy-go-lucky. His philosophy in life was, कल क्या होगा किसको पता, अभी जिंदगी का ले लो मजा. So my father never had a bank account. He would never save money. He was always spend his money. Whereas my mom was more, intelligent, right? She was smart enough to start saving money, keeping aside some money, like whether it was 100 rupees or 200 rupees, whatever, from what she used to get, she used to save. She used to put it in recurring and then into fixed deposits. And then slowly, she compounded it over the years. And she had a nest egg for when she retired. Now, can you see these are two conflicting messages? So imagine what the children are in. So each one has taken what they wanted. So for many years, my story was my father's story. अरे कल क्या होगा किसको पता, अभी जिंदगी का ले लो मजा, right? And very late my tube light चमकाउड, right? I have to save for my future. And so started my journey, right? So these are small things. So how do you raise financially aware children? So let's look at some aspects. Let's see, as I said, this it's also about age. We know from 3 years to 18 years is the most impressionable age where we can teach them, make them aware, and then we can leave them in the world to tackle money conversations, right? And if we are successfully teaching them, so there are 3 things that would be possible if we are teaching them, about how to manage money. So let me just get you. So the 3 things, like the first thing is that they would be successful if you teach them, they would learn how to manage, they would be very good at personal finance, their own personal finance, how to take care of it. Then the second one would be how to handle their own money. They would be adept at that. And thirdly, how to make smart financial decisions, right? So the whole thing is that if we are teaching them to be financially aware, these are the 3 things that are going to happen. Personal finance, they will be able to know about personal finance, how to handle their own money, and how to make smart financial decisions. So the question here is what kind of mindset do we want to inculcate in our children? And how do we do that, right? So let's look at, okay, so I can see some comments. Let me see. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So what kind of mindset do we want to inculcate in our children? And here I would, highly recommend the book, and maybe later in one of my future this I will be discussing the Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is a very good book to start, inculcating the mindsets and breaking a lot of myths about, how the scarcity mindset and the abundant mindset, that how we can teach the children about being getting financially educated. So let's look at, if I'm to share a few things about how do we teach the children about all these things. So from, like I said, from the age 3 years to 18 years, we can look at different ways we can do at home, how we can teach them. And it has to be a free flow of things. You can make games, right? Like maybe coins, or something stuck on chart paper, or bottle caps, or something like tokens. And these tokens can be like, you're supposed to collect these tokens. I don't know if you remember, we used to have this Tazo cards or things like that. There's these billas or soda covers, which were billas, which we used to do. So those tokens can be worth something. So it can be a game where you can look at, like, if the child needs something in, you can make a list of things. Okay, so if you want to go for a sleepover, you need to have at least 10 of these, tokens. So now these tokens, how are they given? These tokens are given is when, as a way of appreciation. So as a parent, you can appreciate good values. Like if the child is keeping the clothes, keeping all his toys in its place, so when you see that, you appreciate it, and you can give him a token. So he earns a token. So what you're teaching him is that, you earn it out of doing certain activities, right? Some work that you do. If he has finished his homework, that is purely up to you, what you take up, and which will have him earn a token, right? It can be that he has been good with his brother, or he's taken care of his brother, little brother or sister. He could earn a token. If he has studied and studied and done his homework in time, maybe he could earn a token. So what he does is he collects those tokens. And now if he needs anything, like he wants to buy an ice cream, when ice cream is not like something which is had every day. So if he has 3 tokens, he can have an ice cream if he gives you, like it's a sale and purchase, right? So he has to give you 3 tokens for an ice cream if he wants an ice cream which is not in the daily menu. Like that way, this can be a game. So what happens is then the children learn the value of, like work and money. And you're teaching them without money. This is one game. The other way you can look at is also like for a little elder children, right? From the age group of 13 to 15, like that way. You can have a blank sheet, which will be like related to, like, if you're giving them money, pocket money of their own. So you can have things like for a month or 2 months, like there can be, okay, for a t-shirt, you are ready to spend say 250 rupees. And if you have what else, chips, which can be, say 200 rupees, and anything and everything. So like that way you make a list of the things that your child has and which you are allowing them to, like say maybe chips 50 rupees for 4 times. So that is like 200 rupees. So anything and any this above 200 rupees, they have to pay from their own savings. You will not pay. So each time they buy a chips packet, that 50 rupees gets punched over there. So they have, like, add to their credit only 3 for that month. Then like that way, so on and so forth. So if they complete their 4 before the stipulated time, then what happens is they have to pay it from their own money. So this aspect, when you are teaching them from this way, what you are teaching them is delayed gratification, or how they can, really look at whether they want, whether, you can teach them needs and wants, whether it is really required. And that means that they have to part from their own money if they want something over and above what is being provided. The other aspect which you can look at, and this can be had from 3 to 18 years, okay, where you can look at having discussions, as in, in initiating conversations about what do they dream about, right? It can be having conversations, and you can also dream along with them. It can be about what do they want to become when they become big? What do they think, it would entail? Like if they want to be a doctor or an actor or a teacher, right? And what do they think? Just ask them, like having a discussion. What do they think would be required to, if they are a teacher, or if it's a doctor, then how many years do they think they need to study? Are they ready for it? How many years of study they would need to be putting? Are they really inclined to it? And from where, how much do you think it would cost? Like for young children, it would be to get them curious and to try to figure out a direction, okay, of what they want. But for the 16, 15 and above, it could be for them to, an action for them to research and find out, right, how they can look at different colleges, and are they really inclined, what it would cost, what would be the living expenses, Buddha, are they ready to, be sacrificing, or what all skills they would need to learn, whether it would be cooking, they would need to upskill and all that. They would need to learn banking, cooking, how to keep the house clean, all these things. So these are things like which can be initiated in really inside of dreaming, and having them to think from there, okay, this would entail these things. It's like not like staying at home and just getting things like that way. Are they planning to go out and do it, or are they planning to stay at home and study in a college? So slowly, if it's like a discussion and not like a a huge have to or a should, but just plain, and you also dreaming along with them, अरे चलो ऐसे करते हैं, अरे ऐसे करेंगे तो फिर then how will you make food, and अंडा कैसे बनाओगे, या ये कैसे बनाओगे, बर्तन कहाँ से लाओगे, simple things. Make it fun and make it enjoyable, but yet have them to start thinking. What we want them is to start thinking and articulating, and then looking at and coming up with creative ideas, because that would have them be thinking independently, and that's more valuable than just anything and everything, right? So what we would be setting up is a financially independent thinking, financially aware children, to look at everything costs money, and how do we make and maximize the money. So this is what is available. And until the next time, in the meantime, I would want to share with you that at Women on Wealth, we are having courses for the children, which is the Kids and Money Financial Starter Kit, and the next batch is coming up from January 3rd. So the dates, anyone wants, you can just leave a message on this WhatsApp. This is the where you all can reach. Okay, you can just type in WhatsApp on this number 9818540023, and we will get to you. I will personally speak to you and let you know the details of the course, right? And currently we are having a batch, so the next batch is going to be in January 2021, which is a 6 session. 1 session would be for parents and 5 sessions for the children. And that would set them on the course of thinking about the physical, the different aspects of money, the different aspects of needs and wants, and how to go about it. So thank you. Until the next week. See you soon. Bye bye.